good evening all. It's Friday the 19th of October and we're going to dial it back a little bit now. We've just done a 9% double IPA and we're going almost as far back towards zero as possible. Yes, it's another alcohol-free beer. This time it's this one. This one, Franziskaner wheat beer. 0.5% alcohol. It's essentially alcohol free. Now, as you may have seen, I've thoroughly enjoyed another German wheat beer that is alcohol free recently, and I picked this one up at the same time to try, but I thought, well, I'm going to do one at a time, give it a bit of a break, and then try this one just to see if there is anything fundamentally different between the two. You know, give my palate a break, give it something else to try, and then go on to this. And that's what we're doing tonight. So, the Franziskaner wheat beer, alcohol free, we're going to try. And to fill you in case this is the first of my alcohol free series that you are looking at, my previous experience, bar recently, of alcohol free beer has been terrible. Everyone knows of Caliber and other similar offerings back in the 90s. They were not good at all, let's be honest. But recently I've discovered, through means of solidarity with a friend who can't drink an awful lot of alcohol now at all, the wonderful alcohol-free beers that are now available. Breweries have really upped their game and come on strong with some quality beer. And I'm hoping this one's going to be another one. So, this is the one. Let's give it a try. Now, based on recent offerings, it's got a lot to stand up to, and I'm hoping it does. So let's pour, let's see what it's like. So it's pale, it's very pale, as most wheat beers are, all of them in fact, that I've ever tried. It retains large head. Look at that. I mean, the colour is nice, the head is large, as I've seen on all wheat beers of this style. Well, all beers of this style, wheat beer. The aroma is familiar, both from the bottle and from the glass. Looks very familiar. Let's hope it tastes very familiar. So, like I say, it's been a while. It's been, what, a week since I've had an alcohol-free beer. So my palate should be refreshed. I've had a few different ones in between. So I've not got the, what's the word I'm looking for? I've not got hints of this other beer in my immediate memory. So hopefully it's a fresh palate to work from. It's very similar. Very similar indeed, if not a little bit more metallic tasting. And I'll mention the other beer just once because I don't want to take away from this review. Erdinger, alcohol free. It's got the same qualities of the wheat beer, that kind of bready note, that almost warm, thick, not cloying, but wholesome, that kind of body to it. Like I say, it's very similar in taste. It's a little bit more savoury than the alternative beer. So if you like your beers a bit more savoury, this would be a good one to try. It's ever so slightly more metallic flavoured. And I know that kind of sounds weird when we're talking about beer, but there's something else I can taste, but I can't put my finger on it. It's not unpleasant, don't get me wrong. It's just different to other wheat beers of the non-alcoholic style that I've tried. It's refreshing, don't get me wrong. I can't put my finger on what is subtly different to other beers of a similar style. It's nice, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong at all. Now, is there anything I can tell you about the beer from the bottle? Well, not really. It doesn't tell me much at all. It tells me it's brewed in Germany. It tells me the ingredients are water, wheat malt, barley malt, yeast and hop extract. Now that's different. Hop extract as opposed to hops themselves. Interesting. I wonder how much of an impact that's having on the flavour. I'm guessing not a huge amount, given that it's very similar to other beers of this class, shall we say. Labelling wise, I mean, it's a nice beer to look at on the shelf. It makes you want to look at it. It's traditional styled. You know, you've got the should we call him? We'll call him a monk or an abbot on the label there. It's classy. It's not outlandish. It doesn't make a song and dance that it's an alcohol-free beer. To look at it quickly on the shelf, you wouldn't know. It's nice. It is nice, and I would buy it again because it's a little bit different to, like I say, the other beer of this style. The other popular beer of this style. It's a break from the norm, you know. It's very similar, and let's face it, they're both wheat beers, just with no alcohol. And this offers something a little bit different to the other one, you know. It's nice. It is nice. And I think I paid about £1.70 for this bottle in Sainsbury's. So it's reasonable value, you know. It's 500ml for £1.70. As near as damn it a pint for £1.70. Where can you get that nowadays? Certainly not in a pub, unless it's terrible beer. And let's face it, if you were trying to find non-alcoholic beer in a pub, you'd probably be paying through the nose. Now, I'm going to do something I wouldn't ordinarily do in a review. I'm going to try and compare this to, we're going to call it its brethren, because let's be honest, non-alcoholic beers, they are in the minority in the beer industry, and there's not an awful lot of, shall we say, favour put upon them. And I think it's fair that we give an honest opinion. And I like to compare a non-alcoholic beer to an alcoholic beer. If we're talking purely on the flavour, it's good. I mean, working on Untapped ratings, where their maximum score is a 5 and the lowest is a 0, I would be dishonest with myself if I scored it less than a 4, because the flavour is nice. There's that true wheat beer style, you can't mistake that. It's there, it's present in every possible way. There is that little something different to an alternative that I really enjoy. It's a little bit more carbonated than the other beer of this style. And the other one I would buy again. This one I would also buy again, but maybe not quite as frequently. I prefer the other one a little bit more to this one, but this is not to take away from the Franziskaner Weisbier. It is a beautiful beer on its own, don't get me wrong, it is nice. For a non-alcoholic beer at £1.70 a bottle, I cannot sound disappointed in any way. The flavour is nice, the value is nice, it's a thoroughly enjoyable beer, whether it's non-alcoholic or not. And it's nice to be able to have something nowadays with flavour that I enjoy to intersperse between my heavy hitting dippers and tippers, and I'm grateful to the guys at Franziskaner who make this nice beer. So yeah, I would buy it again, happily so. Like I say, maybe not as frequently as alternative beers in this category, but nevertheless I would buy it happily again, and I'm going to go and grab a few more over the weekend for doing exactly what I've just said, interspersing your big hitters, because sometimes you don't want that massive hit where you feel like you can't do anything afterwards, or press your nose without feeling like it's a bag of sand. Not using it in the same manner that they did in 40-Year-Old Virgin, shall we say. But in pure flavour, let's be honest, it's nice. It's a little bit more, and I can't get away from that word metallic, than the Erdinger. But that's not to say it's bad in any way, shape or form. It's just slightly different, but good. Slightly different but good. I think sums it up very well to the competitor Erdinger. So that's where I'm going to end it. I'm going to say this Franziskaner Weisbier from Germany is very nice. If you want to try a non-alcoholic beer and you enjoy the Erdinger, this is one to try. It's well worth it. It's good value for money. The taste is familiar, yet ever so slightly different, so it's mixing it up a little bit and keeping it interesting. Thank you all for watching. This has been the Franziskaner Weisbier. I have been Nick. I'm going to go and enjoy this, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.